Hey everybody, in this introductory video I am going to introduce some old content from about July of 2020 where I talked about the Detroit small business ecosystem, and this is going to start off a series of videos that kind of explain what is an entrepreneur, what's the difference between entrepreneurs and small business owners, and also if you'd like to start a business in Detroit, where do you start? Or anywhere else for that matter. Then we'll get down into, I'd like to start a business. Where do I? So I'd like to use my small business expertise working in the small business ecosystem to help you answer questions here online about how to start a business, how to get connected into the small business ecosystem, and where to start, how to scale, how to grow, how to launch, and marketing on social media and in person, and ways to drive your sales and putting together a business plan. So stay tuned for more and enjoy the content here that, like I said, is from a year ago. So I hope you enjoy. All right. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more information and more videos on social commentary, language learning, and politics and small business. All right. Thanks. I'm Ernestine Lyons. Hey. My name is Ernestine Lyons. I am a small business owner. I'm the founder of Ling Global. I work in economic development in the Detroit economic ecosystem. So I have been affiliated with the City of Detroit's Business Opportunity Program, with Build Institute, and running their Build Cities program, as well as I've taken classes and workshops with Bamboo Detroit, and recently I've gotten involved with Proxy Detroit, and I want to talk to you about just my journey of entrepreneurship and then discovering economic development, and how you can go to town for your cities and for your environments to foster more economic development, inclusion, and making sure that your community it just has a place where economic development and small business development can really thrive. So stay tuned. Hello, I'm talking to you today about entrepreneurship and economic development. So my background is I work for organizations that help incubate small businesses, and I'm a small business owner myself. My company is Ling Global. In the Detroit economic ecosystem, I have worked with the City of Detroit, Build Institute, and I've taken classes and workshops with Bamboo Detroit. And I've recently discovered Proxy Detroit. And so all of these are actually really great programs for being able to understand how to take a concept from ideation to getting into a brick and mortar, from scaling the business, and to seeking seed funding from venture capitalists. So I just want to talk a little bit about what resources are out there and what my journey has been like, and telling you how you can take an idea from concept to business plan. The rest of the video is my business pitch from 2020. Enjoy. With a short presentation, and then we'll jump right into the main event. So that was the commercial for Ling Global, and my name is Ernestine Lyons, and I am the proud founder of Ling Global, where we teach you how to go anywhere, be anything, and to be a global citizen. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into our slide deck, pitch deck presentation. Let the slideshow begin. Okay, so Ling Global was born out of my love of traveling and love of learning foreign languages. So after I returned home from a trip from Russia in 2015, I went to a local Detroit public school, Cass Tech, and I shared the story of, my language learning experiences in Russia and my language learning experiences in China before that, probably about 2 years before that. And the students, I was really expecting them to, just kind of have a vague interest, but I was really surprised at how excited the students really were. They were just wrapped with attention. And from there, this just wanting to go into a classroom and kind of share the experience for a social studies class that one of their teachers asked me to come in and talk to kids that, they were learning Chinese at Cass Tech, and she invited me to come in, and I shared not only the Russia and the China experience, but I just talked about also going to places like South Africa, and they wanted to see representation. It's like, why am I learning this language and nobody looks like me, and what am I going to do with this? And so Ling Global was born. So what we do is we go into the classroom, and we're a liaison between teachers and students, and that language learning experience, like what's in it for me. And we also we really want to hone that passion in students about connecting with the language. And so it's empathy and connection fueled by social enterprise. And so Ling Global is a social enterprise. Now, initially it was an LLC when I first set everything up, but I also wanted to have a component of being able to provide scholarships for students through a 501c3 that was then set up to be able to get the students to be able to go off and study in these countries. Now, this is a pre-COVID world. So the whole business model was structured around going into classrooms and having these interactions with students. And then we also have workshops for adults and people who just want to travel. And so therefore, Ling Global is a consulting service. So if you want to put together a trip, you want to go somewhere, you want to get off the beaten path, we can show you how. We can show you what you need to do step by step and put together a very catered program for you to be able to go off and see the world. So our mission is to provide non-traditional travelers and students an opportunity to go off and see the world and to learn a new language and to connect with new cultures, and to, as I said, our motto is go everywhere, be anything. So with COVID-19, most of the services that Ling Global had been providing over the years and gradually, getting that traction and that momentum and looking to scale and grow, they were paused. I would go into at least 4 classrooms a month, and so that stopped happening. And then having the in-person events at local libraries and talking with people about language learning services and or passport processing or travel itinerary, and putting those kind of services together with people, we had to pause. And now we're pivoting to more online services and online content creation. We have a very interactive international sort of friend group where we get together and we learn, putting out a lot of YouTube content and creating things for people to be able to have these language learning experiences and or cultural immersion experiences in their own backyards. For example, if you are interested in Arab or Bengali culture, there's Hamtramck, there's Dearborn, and we really want to be...
Ernestine.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Your sound went out, Ernestine.
Okay. No? Can't hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, perfect. So we want you to be able to replicate. It's saying my internet is unstable, so I might be having some connectivity problems. I'm gonna move my cell phone away. I don't know if that's making any difference. But anyway, we also have shifted to having these COVID-19 boxes. I've actually partnered with our very own Alicia McKay here, and we're in conversations around having boxes for students to focus on social studies, like packages. For example, if you're in social studies and you're learning about the world, every month you're going to experience a new country, and through those boxes, those are some of the services that we provide. And then we've also shifted to capacity building and community engagement, sort of civic engagement focuses with different communities to be able to connect culturally with each other. So here are just a list of some of our services: the language workshops, finding out what language is right for you, language and travel coaching, and to understand like, you know, what it'll take to travel and go somewhere. So we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook and a website, and on there you can find interactive content. You know, we partner with other Black travelers and or niche groups like Scott's Great Flights, and we have little sort of promos. I've partnered with Proxy Detroit to talk about the importance of international business and how learning another language can help you to really understand your business, how to take your business to the next level. And then there's the cultural immersion, like field trips and the civic engagement component. But then we also do the basic things like visa processing, passport processing. If you don't know where to even start to get a passport, if you need to go to some country that has a visa, we can help you with that. We can help you with global entry, which allows you to go in and out of airports a lot faster. So those are some of our services. Here is me in the classroom with some of our kids. The ages start as young as 12 and then up to high school ages. And then I also consult with high school students and college students as far as language learning. And Yolanda's saying I have 1 minute left. So here's some of the Ling Global programming for kids. And then the country boxes, some of the examples of the countries and the content that you can get. And that is Ling Global, folks. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And I will yield the floor if you have any questions.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask a question. Like you said, I like to travel.
I know we all would, but COVID, you know, I had like 14 different places I was supposed to go to this year.
Well, when you get to travel and say, hey, you want a traveling buddy? Here I am.
Right, exactly. Well, I will do that.
So how many languages do you speak?
Okay, I love to dabble with languages and play around with them. I always like, if I'm taking a trip somewhere, like I went to Slovenia, so I started learning Slovenian, and I never actually needed to really use that language, but it was fun to learn a couple of phrases. But my main three that I studied at like proficiency level would be Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. And I lived in those countries, so it actually helped to pick it up. But you know, I'm just okay with, and I can maybe say a couple phrases.
How long did you live in those countries?
I lived in Russia for 6 months, and I lived in China for a year and some change. So, you know, and that was through scholarships. And altogether, I've been to about 25 different countries.
So is that like they call student exchange, what you was doing? Like
one of them was a student exchange. The other was like I was a research scholar during graduate school in St. Petersburg in Russia.
Because I thought it was nice. When I used to work, you know, at Simbase, you know, people I would meet, they would say that they stay at somebody's house for 6 months, and so it was like.
It was, yeah, the university, I went to Wayne State, and they had a really robust, you know, international relations program. And, you know, they do have a homestay program where the kids come and stay in somebody's house. They have that for a couple of languages and countries. The one I did was I stayed at a university because I got a scholarship. And, you know, that was like really interactive and pretty exciting.
What did you go over your pricing model? How are you generating revenue?
So my pricing model, I am still figuring that out. I have been working on it throughout this class, and I did work out some things. I know that for the boxes, I wanted to have like a $25 price, and then for services like consulting, I would, you know, kind of offer that to the school districts. And then I also for $100 a month for services like consulting and coming into the classroom to help kids with, you know, just the language learning and the lessons and tutoring and things of that sort. But I really need to like streamline it and to be able to get it. And I did have that when we did the activity, but I didn't include it in the pitch deck.
So is Ling Global only for groups? Is it not for individuals?
It is both. It is both. So the way that I set it up, it was like the main source of the bread and butter would be having contracts with schools. You know, DPS would sign a contract or Troy Public Schools would sign a contract, and but I do the individual services. So I have actually, started this thing where I get together with a group of students, and it's like $10 for Turkish lessons, and we learn. But then there's also individual services for like passports and visas and helping people walk through those sort of things, and then there's also individual one-on-one scholarship applications for kids looking to do programs like the JET program, which is a high school exchange program for kids to be able to travel to Japan. And so there's a lot of one-on-one service, and then there's the group services as well.
Okay, so like in addition to like passport services and consulting, like what about if someone's interested in like being an expat and going to live in another country for a specific amount of time? Could you assist them with that process?
Absolutely. And, that's actually something that I have done. Like that actually got me wanting to set up this business model, because I would talk to friends, because when I got back from China in 2012, people were like, wow, you did that and you lived over there. Are there English teaching opportunities? I'm like, well, let me connect you to my friend, Scott, who's over there, and my friend Eben. And, they are already teaching. So I think you could start that process. And so it's almost like being that person who can connect them, that conduit, that liaison. I did do that for free, and I was like, that's a service that people actually charge for. And so I'm like, this is a part of my business model, and it actually got me to, and a lot of friends of mine actually ended up going to study not study, but teach English either in Russia or China based on the recommendations that I gave them, which is where I was like, this is about to be a business.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
If you had a place to stay right now with the COVID, where would it be at? Where would you live right now?
Meaning like internationally, where would I choose to go?
If right now you wanted to consider it to be a safe place right now to go, where would you to live? Where would you go?
South Korea. South Korea's have done a really good job of contact tracing, and they've been able to, stop the spread. And they do a lot of, and plus I want to go to Korea because I've been learning Korean. And I love Asian countries. So I don't know. I love African countries because they are super fun. But then, Asian
New
countries.
Zealand, they've been doing an amazing job.
Yes, yes, yes. So yes, I would choose to go to some of these countries that actually have been doing a really good job of controlling the virus. I have a friend who actually he does a lot of stuff with Build Institute, and he just decided like, hey, we're working remotely. I'm going to Mexico for the next month or two. So so yeah. And it's just yeah, that's what I would do.
All right, cool.
Question, Ernestine, right quick. You
Last
say you
question.
started at the age of 12?
Yes, we started at the age of 12 because I find that I used to go in to talk to little kids, and
Right.
I don't, I would have to really, really water it down, and it was hard to get them to sit still, and they would laugh at certain names and things. And
Okay.
I just find that it's the 12-year-olds who are just sitting here like this, and they're super excited. And, I think they get the most out of the experience. So 12 and up.
Okay. I was wondering. You answered my question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ernestine and everyone else. We have 5 more